Good afternoon, Francis and the District Madorum. I'm really glad to come out here, do the blessings of the grounds, and welcome everybody here today, you know. So I'll say, Passage and Quay, Francis and the District Madorum, Pikwakanagan Dundabob, O Mama Mini and Lishna Beninda, Jimmy Grits Kitchamando, Jimmy Grits Kitchamando, then Dotin, Kitchme Grits Kitchamando, Kitchme Grits Kitchamando, Kimagago, Migrich.
Thank you.
Migrich. Hey, Grits, come
Kway. Good morning, everyone. It's an honor to welcome all of you here today in the unceded traditional territory of the Algonquin Nation. I'd like to begin by acknowledging our ancestors whose strength, perseverance, and stewardship of these lands make gatherings like this possible. When European cultures first came up the great river of the Algonquin Nation, the mighty Kitchissippi, the Ottawa River as you know it today, in the early 1600s into our Algonquin homelands, the Algonquin Nation was here, occupying and defending our lands. We're still here in 2025, and we will be for the next 7 generations and beyond. The fact remains that these lands have been ours since time immemorial, and they remain unceded today. Our territory is vast. It stretches from North Bay in the west to Hawkesbury in the east, and it includes all of the lands that are encompassed by the Ottawa River watershed. These lands we're on today is part of those lands. Today we mark another step into a journey that our people began 2 years ago when we decided to pursue LT1 projects in our ancestral homelands. In May of 2024, some 18 months ago, the Algonquins of Pikwakanagan Limited Partnership was successfully awarded all 5 of the LT1 contracts our people had bid on. That is a testament to our desire and our ability to participate fully in the economy of our traditional territory. This is the start of construction on the Skyview 2 battery energy storage system. It's a further step forward in our nation's journey toward environmental stewardship, leadership, and true partnership in Canada's clean energy future. We are happy to stand here alongside Potentia, one of our trusted business partners through the LT1 projects. Together, we are building something extraordinary, a project that stands as the largest battery energy storage system that the Algonquins of Pikwakanagan has ever invested in so far. It is also the largest in Canada today. This project represents opportunity, innovation, and collaboration. It shows what can happen when First Nations are not just stakeholders, but owners and leaders in the transition to green energy. Projects like this one show what can be achieved when First Nations and industry come together in a spirit of respect, transparency, and shared purpose. They show that reconciliation is not only words, it's about action, opportunity, and shared prosperity. As we break ground today, we are not just building an energy storage facility, we are building a future, one powered by clean energy, guided by partnership, and rooted in the enduring strength and vision of our people. On behalf of the Algonquins of Pikwakanagan First Nation, I want to thank our partners at Potentia, our project team, and all those who have supported this important work. Together we are showing that when First Nations are included as full and equal partners in Canada's energy landscape, everyone benefits. I want to thank you, Premier Ford, Minister Lecce, and Mayor Tony Deschamps for being here today to celebrate this milestone moment and for your ongoing commitment to economic reconciliation. This is a proud day for the Algonquins of Pikwakanagan First Nation. Chimigwech. That's a big thank you to all of you. And now introduce Mayor Tony Deschamps.
Thank you, Chief. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Good, buddy. Way to go. Okay, Mayor, go get him.
Go get them. Been waiting for this opportunity for a while. Good morning, everyone. What an honor to follow Chief Greg Sarazin. Welcome to the members of the Algonquin Pikwakanagan First Nations. Premier Doug Ford, Minister Lecce, MPP Clark, members of our township staff and council, our partners in the IESO, Hydro One. There's a ton of dignitaries here, a lot of stakeholders, and last, certainly but not least, the group from Potentia. Today marks the day of something big. The Skyview 2 BESS project, the largest of its kind in Canada, a nearly $1 billion investment right here in Edwardsburgh Cardinal. And for Edwardsburgh Cardinal, that's historic. It's not just it's historic, not just transformational. I know everyone else here is going to talk about the BESS project, but I want to take a few moments to talk about Edwardsburgh Cardinal. So I'm going to steal a line from the Premier, and let me say it really clearly. Edwardsburgh Cardinal is open for business. We believe in doing our part to protect Ontario workers and their jobs, and also to ensuring that Canadian economic resiliency through projects just like the Skyview 2 project that we're opening here today in Edwardsburgh Cardinal. We've got the people. We got wonderful, supportive people here in Edwardsburgh Cardinal. We've got the resources and the land. Heck, we even own our own port, the municipal-owned Port of Johnstown. But most of all, I think as you see here today, we've got leadership. We've got a very strong municipal council, local council, and Steve, Waddy, Chris, and Joe, I'm not sure where they are, I can't tell in the crowd. We're united, we're focused, we're fearless when it comes to supporting growth in our township. Our municipal staff, while they may be small in numbers, they're second to none in their talent, their commitment, and their ability to execute. Here in Edwardsburgh Cardinal, when it comes to projects, the word no doesn't exist. It's only how can we work and collaborate together to get projects done. And that's just like the Skyview 2 BESS. So when many around us were saying no, we chose to say yes. How can we get this done? When opportunity comes calling, this team, our Edwardsburgh Cardinal team, we don't just answer the call, we're willing to help build the network so that you can answer the call. And speaking of network, we're backed by really strong leadership at other high levels of government. I believe we have Ontario's best MPP in MPP Steve Clark. He's an absolute relentless advocate for our region, helping to turn our vast potential into progress and delivering in our area over and over and over again and again. MP Barrett, who could not be here today, he stands shoulder to shoulder with us, making sure our voice isn't just heard, but that it's respected and that we remain engaged. Lastly, our council, our municipal staff. I saw ECDEV Director Ann Weir here somewhere. I saw Chairman Charlie Mignot, MPP Clark. We all know that this project is more than just about energy storage. For us, for this area, it's way bigger than that. It's about sustainability, affordability, reliable infrastructure. It's about economic development. It's about powering and empowering our local economic future. It's about proving that when you invest here in Edwardsburgh Cardinal, that you're investing in our ability to deliver. And as our tagline says, you can get there from here. So in closing, thank you to Potentia for believing in choosing Edwardsburgh Cardinal to locate in. Thank you, Chief Sarazin and the AOPFN for your support and your partnership in this project. And thank you to everyone else that's here today helping to power this project to life.
Great job, man. Great job, my friend.
Thanks, Premier.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Hey, Sparky.
Well, good morning, Premier, Minister Lecce, Mayor Deschamps, officials from Potentia Renewables, Chief Sarazin, and our friends from the Algonquins of Pikwakanagan First Nation. As the MPP for Leeds, Grenville, Thousand Islands, and Rideau Lakes, it's a real honor to welcome everyone here to Edwardsburgh Cardinal this morning. It's a historic day as we break ground on Skyview 2 with all the partners who make this innovative project a reality. Under Premier Ford, Ontario is delivering on nation-building projects that will not only transform our economy, but leave a legacy of prosperity for generations to come. Breaking ground on Skyview 2, the largest battery energy storage system in Canada, shows that Leeds Grenville is ready to be part of that legacy. So today marks a significant milestone in building a cleaner, more reliable energy future that will power economic growth in Eastern Ontario and across the province. Skyview 2 will store clean energy and deliver it to the grid when it's most needed. It will play a critical role in strengthening Ontario's energy supply and ensuring that we can meet growing demand from our industries and our communities. And Premier, during your visit today, you will discover that Skyview 2 isn't the only project we're excited about. At HFI, you'll see how a local manufacturer is stepping up to support Canada's national defence and those brave men and women of our armed forces. And at the Port of Johnstown, you'll witness a success story that continues to grow with a plan to turn an already vital regional trade gateway into one that connects Ontario and Canada to the world. All of this happening under the tremendous leadership of Mayor Deschamps, his council, and his municipal staff. And I want to commend them for stepping up when a vision and commitment to make Edwardsburgh Cardinal and our region an economic powerhouse. So thank you so much, Mayor. The Mayor and Council are demonstrating that nation building doesn't just happen in big cities and that rural Eastern Ontario can also have a seat at the table. Thanks for everybody for being here, and I'll now call on Ben Greenhouse from Potentia Renewables. Ben?
Beautiful.
Wonderful. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Chief Sarazin, MPP Clark, and Mayor Deschamps. Tory, I think it's a testament to your influence that you could gather this many people to come stand in an empty field in the middle of a snowstorm. No small feat. On behalf of my 90 team members at Potentia and our partners at Power Sustainable, I wanted to say thank you to our partners and our hosts. While this is a celebration of a beginning, of a groundbreaking, it's also the celebration of an end. Reaching this point is the culmination of years of work between Potentia and our partners at Pikwakanagan, and of course the team at Edwardsburgh Cardinal. To our project development team at Potentia, which is ably led by Keaton Lever, thank you for the hard work you've done. To our construction team, along with Barton Mallow, led by Moose, who's moved here with his young family, thanks for the work you've done, and keep it up as we move in here. To Chief Sarazin and our partners at Pikwakanagan, especially Leah, Amanda, and RJ, thanks for working with us as we've sorted out our commercial relationship and then being such a great partner as we've worked through these early stages. We're honored to work with your nation on this exciting project and do our small part to advance Canada's economic reconciliation with our First Nation partners. On that note, thank you to the ISO, Minister Lecce, and Premier Ford's government for designing and implementing a program like this that encourages and enables companies like ours to take part in these efforts. Quick thank you to Canadian Solar's e-storage team. They're our technology provider for this project. We look forward to working with you. Thank you to the Dobbies who are hosting us on their land today and for the life of this project. And last but not least, thank you to Mayor Deschamps and your great team. At Potentia, we've been humbled by your warm welcome and your commitment, as you said, to working together to move this project forward. It's truly been unique in my experience. So as I said, this is the culmination of 2 years of hard and exciting work, but also the start of another 2 of the same. We look forward to working with you, and we're grateful to be working with such great partners. So thank you very much, and thank you for being here, Premier.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Good to be with you all. I want to say, first off, Chief Greg Sarazin, thank you so much for your leadership here. We are so excited to partner with you on this achievement, not just for your community, but for all Canadians. Thank you, Mayor. appropriately named Mayor Tory. Thank you so much, sir, for welcoming us back. To the hardest working MPP, Steve Clark, my seatmate. This man is a fighter. And to the team, the leadership team that helped deliver this, we're very grateful, obviously, to the whole Potentia team. I am very honored to be here. And if there's one takeaway you have from today's announcement about this man, is we are a government doing big things. We are initiating construction on the largest battery storage project in the nation. It's a premier who initiated the largest nuclear energy build-out on the continent. Our premier is committed to building the largest nuclear generator on Earth, 10,000 megawatts of clean power, so that we can keep energy rates low and keep the power reliable. This is a premier that launched the largest energy efficiency program in the history of Canada, $12 billion back into your pockets where it belongs. Largest transit expansion, the largest infrastructure plan. I mean, my goodness, if we are defined by the investment, then we are making a difference in the province and country. And I think more than anything else, he has been defined by his leadership in the nation. He has stood up to President Trump. He has been an example to all Canadians that we need to fight back and stand up for our resources, our workers, and for the people and the communities that we're proud to call home, like right here at Leeds, Grenville. So I came to say thank you to all the partners on this major project expansion. And I also came to introduce the Premier, the man who's been working hard, fighting for Canada, and delivering investments that are going to make a generational difference for your children and grandchildren. So will you join me in welcoming Ontario's Premier, Doug Ford? Thank you all so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you. Well, first of all, I want to welcome everyone. Thank you for having me by. It's a little cold, a little windy, a little snowy, but we're all here. And first of all, Chief, thank you for everything that you're doing and partnering with us. And you nailed it with those words. It's amazing when we all get together and we work together how we can get things done. Mayor, thank you. I always say things can't happen without staff as well and your council. So I walked a mile in your shoes of the council, and I'm very grateful. And Elder, thank you for your comments as well. You heard from my champions, Minister Lecce, leading the province actually in the largest expansion of nuclear energy anywhere. I'd say probably anywhere in the world, but for sure anywhere in North America. And we all call him Clarky. We love Clarky down there. He leads the team, and thank you for everything that you do. And I know people in your riding love you, and all the other elected officials that are joining us today. I also want to welcome Ben and the entire team from Potentia. Thank you for what you're doing. What a great company. And again, this is amazing. It's going to be the largest in the entire country. This is a challenging time for our province, with tariffs created economic uncertainty and taking direct aim at our economy, our workers, and our business. And who I'm talking about is President Trump. But we should never take a backseat to President Trump. We are an economic powerhouse, not just here in Canada, but all over North America and around the world. And that's why our government is doubling down on our $220 billion plan to build, creating good-paying jobs in every corner of our province, while cutting taxes and red tape for businesses, saving companies $12 billion each and every single year. And when we cut red tape, it saves 1.8 million person hours to date that they could reallocate those people to very productive areas within their company rather than filling out mounds of government paperwork. So they can continue to invest in their greatest resource, and that's their workers. We're also making important local investments right here in Leeds, Grenville. I should say Leeds, Grenville. Since 2018, our government has invested $88 million in the community to build 3 new schools and expand 2 other, including a brand new Swift Waters Elementary School, which opened last year in Brockville, and a new French Catholic school in North Grenville. We're making travel in Eastern Ontario a lot faster and a lot safer. Safer is a priority by upgrading Highway 401 between Melroy Town and Brockville, creating good-paying construction jobs through resurfacing work bridge repairs, and ramp upgrades. And we broke ground on the revitalized Wellington House nursing home in Prescott, which will bring 128 state-of-the-art long-term care beds to the community. And Clark, you know this, in communities like this, nothing's more important than taking care of the people that built these communities, and that's great. 128 new homes. I don't like calling them beds because they aren't beds, they're actual homes for these people. One of the cornerstones of our plan to build is investing in the infrastructure needed to support Ontario's growing need for energy. By 2050, these are big numbers, by 2050, which isn't too far away, demand for electricity in Ontario is expected to increase more than 50%. That's equivalent of adding 4 cities the size of Toronto to our power grid. Every province, every state, and every governor I speak to, every senator, they need our power. Every jurisdiction in the world needs our power, and I want to thank Minister Lecce for traveling around the world, and he came back with a whole list of, I like calling them purchase orders, for small modular reactors. And we have the brightest team. We're leading, think of this, folks, we're leading the G7, we're leading the world when it comes to small modular reactors. You know, is scrambling right now, all these folks are scrambling right now to generate power and to ensure that power is affordable. We have a responsible future generations and to ensure the necessary infrastructure is in place to meet the energy demands of our growing province. And we have a plan to protect Ontario. I have many jobs. My number one job, bar none, is to protect the people of this province, protect their families, protect businesses, protect communities, and I will not spare a penny to make sure we protect everyone. Making sure our province continues to be an energy superpower around the world. That is why our government is focused building out nuclear power with small modular reactors and new and refurbished large-scale nuclear. We're also expanding hydroelectric capacity, exploring hydrogen generation, building new transmission infrastructure, and new battery storage. And that's why we're here today. I'm thrilled to be here as we break ground on Canada's largest battery storage project, the Skyview 2 battery energy storage system. Think of this, the largest in the entire country. Congratulations, everyone. Which, once up and running, will provide enough capacity to supply energy needs to nearly 400,000 homes. The Skyview 2 facility will store electricity from the grid during periods of lower demand, then release it during peak times. Folks, we've had this problem for decades and decades, and I've heard Minister Lecce talk about it. Now there's a solution. The project will support up to 300 good-paying construction jobs and several more permanent ones following completion, helping keep workers on the job right here in Leeds, Grenville. Today is also an example of how our government is working with Indigenous partners. I've always said to our team, it's absolute, from the day I got into office, we work with our Indigenous partners, and it's amazing when everyone works together and our First Nations communities have an equity partnership, things get done. We're unstoppable in the whole world as we all work together to create generational economic opportunities by partnering with Pikwakanagan. Okay, I'm going to owe you dinner, my friend. I said to the chief, I've been practicing this all the way through. Pikwakanagan. I still owe you dinner. I can tell he's looking at me. But my friend, I have the utmost respect for you and your community in ownership of the generational project. Thanks to Skyview 2 project, the Greenfield Global's Johnstown ethanol plant, which is amazing as well, Leeds Grenville, is leading the way, creating good-paying jobs in the industries of tomorrow, powering the region's energy needs and securing Ontario's future as an energy superpower. Make no mistake, the investments we're making today will drive the success of Ontario's economy now and for many years to come. In the face of tariffs and economic uncertainty, these investments will keep our workers on the job and make Ontario's economy more competitive, resilient, and self-reliant. So we can protect Ontario no matter what. I want to thank you, and may God bless the people of Ontario. Thank you so much.
We will now take questions from the media. Media can line up behind me and state their name and outlet in the microphone. Just a reminder, the format today is one question and one follow-up. First question.
Good morning, Premier. Phil Blanchard, Edwardsburgh Leader. As the province is looking to add 1.5 million homes by 2031, Edwardsburgh Cardinal has been trying to negotiate a deal with Infrastructure Ontario to purchase the Edwardsburgh Land Bank, which will add 10,000 acres for new homes, industrial development, and agriculture. At this point, where do the negotiations stand? And maybe you're making another announcement today?
Well, you know something? I thank you for bringing that to my attention. It was a big operation. I promise you one thing. I'll talk to Minister McCarthy, find out where we're at. But I have no problem with it, to be very frank, as long as there's no kinks in there or anything I don't know about. Because it's so much better when we support communities. They get things done a lot quicker. So I'll look into it, and my assistant will get your phone number, and I'll give you a call back on that one. Okay. Thank you.
And to follow up, on the housing file, Premier, you've said many times that in the media that municipal development charges are holding up building new housing across the province. Neighboring township South Dundas has never had development charges, and now after years of progress that sees up to 500 homes being built in 2 projects, that township is now in the process of implementing development charges. What do you say to municipalities that are looking to putting roadblocks up and adding costs to homes?
Well, you know something, the development charges are the worst thing you could do, is because you're taking money out of the people's pocket. I'm so glad that our government in the FES, the Fall Economic Statement, we're getting rid of our part of the HST, and the federal government is following for first-time home buyers, for new homes. That's 13%. So it might not be this much out here, but in the Toronto GTA, you're lucky to find a place for $1 million. That's $130,000 we're giving back to the buyers. So I totally discourage these development charges. And again, I'm just going to talk about the ones that I know the percentage, no matter if it's Toronto or the GTA. It could cost 40% of the cost of the house. So you're buying $1 million condo, $1 million home, $400,000 is gouging the taxpayer, taking money out of their pocket, and you wonder why homes are not available. They need to get their financial act together. I can tell you, we didn't jack up the development charges when I was down there with my brother Rob. They were as low as anything. People could afford homes, and we delivered a 0% tax increase. Rather than complaining, I can tell you one thing, folks. Government doesn't have an income problem. They have a spending problem. And they need to be held accountable. They need to get their books audited and find the waste and the endless amounts of red tape and regulation. So that's my message to all the cities. I wouldn't do it.
Hi, Premier. Katie Griffin from CTV News, Ottawa.
Hi, Katie.
I have a bit of a two-part for my first question on school board supervisors. They were brought in to rein in spending amid concerns of mismanagement. How do you justify paying them up to $350,000 with an expense account?
So let's talk about that. If you add up the dysfunction of our school boards, and I'll tell you a story. I was in the store the other day. Teacher comes up and says, "Thank you. Do not stop with the school boards. There's a mismanagement of money." And by the way, if you add up all the school trustees' salaries, we're saving $200,000, and we're saving millions and millions of dollars running the school boards more efficiently. Running the school boards and making sure that these school board trustees don't decide to take a trip to Italy. Folks, you might not have heard of this one. This is a classic. Take a trip to Italy, nail the taxpayers for $120,000 to buy some Italian, I love the Italians, ask Lecce, but buy Italian artwork for $100,000. Who does this stuff? People that are reckless. Who goes out and decides, and I love the Blue Jays, before they were going, it was this year I believe, why don't we all go out there on a junket, buy a box for over $20,000 and let's go waste taxpayers' money. Or the nerve of some of the school trustees waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't even wake up hungry at 2 o'clock in the morning. Look at the size of me. But they decide to order some burgers and chocolate shakes at 2 in the morning. And guess what? They charge the taxpayers for the $8. That's the sickening part. They don't give two hoots about taxpayers' money. For the first time ever, Minister Paul Calandra is holding them accountable, and I can tell you the teachers are as happy as anything. They tell us, I just spoke to a teacher this morning on the way here, keep going, we support you 1,000%, and then we're going to be giving purchasing cards to teachers to actually go out and buy pencils and pens and paper because the school board's too busy wasting the money. So thank you for letting me rant about these school boards that haven't been held accountable, and God knows since before Moses. Now they're being held accountable, and the money's going into the classrooms, and it's going to the teachers and educators. Now, my former Minister of Education, do you want to add anything to that? Are you sure? 6 years he was a Minister of Education. Did a great job, by the way.
So the second part of that question, not the follow-up, but speaking of holding them accountable, the supervisor at the Ottawa Carleton District School Board has refused to do any interviews, and just yesterday announcing that he is replacing the Director of Education. Can I get your thoughts on both of those?
I can't comment on that. That's going to be up to the supervisor, but we're going to do one thing. We're going to clean up these school boards once and for all. It's been going on for years. They've been unchecked for years, decades, not even years, decades. And my number one complaint when I speak to the teachers, fix the school boards. That's the number one complaint to the educators that I get. Fix the school boards, so we're going to fix them. And we're going to put money in the classroom and with the educators rather than the school boards.
Hi, Premier Emma Weller with CBC Ottawa. There's some rural residents worried about, these battery storage systems. What's your message to them about how necessary they are to feed the grid?
I'm going to pass it over to my expert, Minister Lecce, and you can talk about that.
So first off, the Premier and the government is investing in delivering the largest storage fleet on the country. I mean, 3,000 megawatts, the third largest on the continent. Having storage allows us during off-peak periods to harness low-cost electricity and then feed it back into the grid during peak purposes. That stabilizes the grid. It keeps your rates low for families and seniors. So it's actually a very important part of our energy affordability vision. Keep in mind, the government has been very intentional about building big. But if we want to do that, and we want to actually have affordable power, we need to have the technology, the capability to harness power during off-peak purposes. So this is very important to the energy build-out. And frankly, as we build nuclear, large-scale nuclear, and we add 15,000 additional megawatts of power, having the storage capacity is going to be a really effective intervention to keep energy affordable. I just will say, related to the question of why it matters, I think it matters particularly because you look at the former Liberal government many years ago. They didn't have storage capacity, but they were investing in sole sourcing renewable power, which means we pay 10 times above the market, and families today, 20 years later, are still paying the price. If they had the foresight of building storage, they could actually come up with a more competitive option and price for families. So we see this as the logical step forward. We can't go back. The former government didn't have that foresight, but we're proud to invest, and we're proud to do it using Canadian workers, Canadian businesses, Canadian investors. And the final thought, the former Liberals would have imposed this project on this rural community without the consent of the mayor and council. Our Premier, 1 year ago, announced a plan to put local communities in the driver's seat. You have to have a support resolution first for the government to even consider a project of any side. It could be storage, it could be renewables, it could be nuclear, anything. You're in the driver's seat. And I think democratizing decision-making is important. So as a first principle, we wouldn't be here if he didn't give local rural communities a voice at the table, which they did not have in the former government, using Queen's Park in downtown Toronto, imposing energy projects, renewable projects on communities that were not willing hosts. So it's a lot of change, but it's good for Canada.
And Premier, my second question, it's a few days until the speed cameras are removed.
Yes.
What funds are available for other safety measures when these are replaced, to replace them?
Yeah, well, there's funds being announced from the Minister of Transportation, a large fund, but a poll's coming out through a reputable polling company, and it's overwhelming support to get rid of these speed cameras. The number one choice are speed bumps. And here's a story I heard just from Mississauga. They had problems with these speed cameras. They weren't slowing down. People are still running through. They came up with a great idea. I guess the mayor did, because I think the world of the mayor there. And Mayor Parrish came up with an idea. Let's get speed bumps in. It stopped immediately. Immediately. You can slow people down, have safe school zones. So that's the number one area people want. Obviously, they want more policing at the point of school hours. They want the signs flashing, and they also want the turnabouts. So we're going to put a tremendous amount of money in making sure our communities are safe and that these municipalities stop gouging the taxpayer. You know, people are tired of being taxed to death. We've been in office for 7 years. I think we've set a record. We're the only, more than 7 years, coming up to 8 in June. We're the only government that's never raised a tax, ever. We reduce taxes. No matter if it's the tolls that we got rid of or the little license sticker tax, which is over $1 billion savings to the taxpayers, one fare. If you're coming into Toronto, you get one fare saving over, I think it was about $1,700 per person. And do you know what I wish I could do? Is put a big sign at every gas station that the province has saved you 10.7 cents a litre, which is about $1.2 billion going back into people's pockets. It's a very simple economics 101 that I think more elected officials should take. So we've increased revenues by $70 billion by lowering taxes, creating an environment and conditions for companies to come. You have two choices as an elected official. You gouge the taxpayer, take every red cent out of their pocket until they can't go out, as simple as going for dinner or buying a pair of sneakers for their kids, or you put more money into their pockets, stimulate the economy, and that's the same as businesses. Put money back into businesses' pockets, they're going to invest it in their people, into technology, into infrastructure, and into new equipment, creating more jobs. This is economics 101, and I just can't believe more elected officials across our country and even in the U.S. don't take that approach. It's a proven approach, and there's over 1 million more people employed today than there was in 2018 when I walked through the doors.
Thank you.
Hi, Felix Pilon from Radio-Canada. On doctor recruitment, last time you said Quebec doctors should call you. Those remarks were badly received by Premier Legault. Knowing what's happening now in Quebec with Bill 2, what do you say to Quebec people that are angry because they lost their doctors because they're coming to Ontario?
What I say, same as I say in Ontario, we don't put a gun to anyone's head. We don't handcuff any of our doctors to stay in Ontario. If you treat your doctors well and you respect them, they're going to stay and they're going to have a thriving practice. In saying that, some of our docs may move out west, they may move out east for personal reasons. And if any docs around the country, around the world, that's what we're attracting. Doctors around the world right now to come and practice in Ontario, because they know it's a great place to, number one, live, raise a family, and start their business, because the doctors' offices are their personal businesses. So we welcome everyone. I'm not targeting Quebec doctors. If they call me, I return their call.
And the federal government is expected to designate Ontario's Crawford Nickel project as a major national development. What is your reaction to that? And are you disappointed that the tunnel under the 401 is not?
Well, I'm gonna answer this. I'm gonna pass it over about mining to Minister Lecce. It's great that they're doing the Crawford Nickel project. I love it. But let's get out of our way on everything else. Let's get out of our way when it comes to the Ring of Fire. Make sure we have one project, one process, until we don't have duplication from the federal government. We need to be talking about large-scale nuclear. And I don't know if we're going to hear about that, but that's a key area that we need investment on. We need investment on the Ring of Fire. We need investment on the tunnel, because we know the tunnel is costing the economy $56 billion each and every single year. We have the busiest highway in North America. So we're going to get it done, and we'd appreciate all the support they can give us. But over to my Minister of Mining as well.
So the Crawford project is very important. It has been on the Premier's list that went to the federal governments. And so, look, I mean, what's perhaps most consequential for families here is that we're talking about a 4-year mine with the highest grade nickel. China monopolizes the sector. 50% of global nickel comes from Indonesia. The Chinese own 75% of those mines. We have to disrupt their stranglehold of the supply chain. We've got the highest grade nickel, a business operation that represents 1,000 permanent jobs, 3,000 construction jobs, a 40-year operation with billions of dollars of gain to Canada's economy. So we certainly would hope it will be prioritized on that list. Large-scale nuclear is important too, though. We can't lose sight of the huge economic value. You want to do nation building? How could you do it without the largest scale investment, a $256 billion gain to the national GDP, 10,500 permanent Canadian jobs using Canadian tech, Canadian resources, Canadian uranium? It's just a no-brainer. So we want the feds to support us on this investment too. On the Ring of Fire, the biggest ask is to end the duplication. We have an Indigenous-led environmental assessment. The Premier has said this 100 times. If we want to do big things and move at the speed in a post-Trump world, we have to end the duplication between governments. Canadians don't have time for this. The world's changed. And so that's why we introduced, for our part, 50% reduction in how we do permitting in Ontario. We went from the second slowest in the OECD to among the fastest in the G7. That is true leadership. We're not slowing down. We're speeding up, and we're doing it in partnership with First Nation communities, because we know that Canada's worth fighting for. So we hope the feds will listen to us and deliver tomorrow.
This will be the last reporter.
Okay, now I'm going to keep my questions and answers short, because everyone is freezing right now. I can't feel my fingers, my toes, my ears.
I'll try not to keep you up too long.
No problem, buddy.
John Lawless, Recorder and Times. In regards to the municipal speed camera ban, a number of municipalities in this area have voiced their concerns about their removal. Is there a message you would like to send to those municipalities and those people that have spoken?
We're gonna fund them, and we're gonna support them on building something that actually works, and that's traffic calming infrastructure. But we're going to be there. We're going to have the dollars. We aren't just talking about it. We're putting big dollars up to support them. So that's what we're going to do, and we support the municipalities.
And just for,
no, he has no cameras in the riding. I'm talking to Clark. He's telling me there's no cameras here.
Yeah,
that's good.
And
so, the other thing is only 37 municipalities out of 444. So only 37 decided to be tax grabbers. The other, they're a lot smarter. They are.
And just for my final question, is the November 14th date, is that a firm date?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Let's stay warm. Great announcement. And I want to thank everyone for hanging in there in this cold. You're all champions. Thank you.